My garbage person of the week is Megyn Kelly, but not for the reason you're probably thinking. We covered her comments about Caitlin Collins earlier this week. No, it's for this.
I got a hold of the boxer who was going to compete against the dude, Imane Khelif. And I reached out to her and I talked to her boyfriend. And I said, why don't you go in that ring? You go in that ring and you fight against that dude. Yeah, it was amazing. I had this whole interaction with him, and he's Hungarian. And so I had this whole interaction with him on Instagram. And I said, please, I beg you, tell your girlfriend. Her name is going to come and go. Nobody's going to remember her name. But if everybody will remember her name, if she jumps in that ring and takes a knee and says, no, I'm going to take a knee for women across the world.
Okay, so that was CARRIE Prejean Bollerer, and in the extended commentary, both CARRIE, which you saw, and Megyn Kelly intentionally misgender Imane Khelif. Like a month after they know that Imane Khelif is a woman, objectively, according to all of their weirdly specific definitional requirements, is a woman, has always been a woman, will always be a woman. And they're still misgendering her a month later because they know what their audience is and they know what they're supposed to do. And I want you to just stop and think about what you saw in that clip, because they know that their audiences are all men, and they're men that want to see these women attack and demean and belittle other women. And so how do you get to that? Well, one way is by spreading all the trans panic or whatever. But did you see what she was advocating for in there? Not Megyn Kelly, but the other woman. Was because they are pretending that Imane Khelif is not a woman. What they want to happen is they want a man to beat that actual woman. They say this whole thing is because I don't want a man to hit a woman. But you know what I'd really like to see? A man to hit a woman. That's where they ended up. Their transphobia has landed on them advocating for men to beat women for sport. What do you think, Brett?
I think that's hitting it right on the head. It is insane. It is pornography. It's like, you know how like in porn, they don't act the way people normally act in certain scenarios. It's all just for the fantasy of it all. That's what that show is. It's just porn. It's just a fantasy of people hoping that there's folks out there. They're creating a false scenario where this person is trans. They're creating this false sense that there are beautiful women out there hosting these shows that believe exactly what you want them to believe. No. They're doing it for money. It's an act. I guarantee you that everyone from Megyn Kelly, who's proven it when she went to NBC for a while, and all the way up to Tucker Carlson, who, as soon as the cameras go off, you end up hearing him on tape saying he thinks Trump sucks. It's all an act. It's all a grift. It's part of the Shillitary industrial complex. And the sooner people get wise to it, the better.
Yeah, and it is certainly not restricted to women on the right. This is sort of the form it comes in, but you point out constantly the grifting of the various Ben Shapiro clones or whatever. They're all doing it. RFK Jr.'s in the process of doing it. And so just disgusting. And Trump is still doing it, by the way. He was this within the last 24 hours, I think. He was misgendering Imane Khelif. Still, again, I don't know what the weird hobby or fetish this is of just wanting so desperately to believe that cis women are trans. I don't get that as a hobby, but that's what they're doing. And it potentially could be bad for them financially because some of them have already been named in this cyberbullying lawsuit by Imane Khelif. Megyn Kelly, apparently, she wants her name to be out there in lawsuits, I suppose. So that's my garbage person of the week. And also for the Caitlin Collins thing. But anyway, many of you voted. 60,000 of you voted for the community garbage person of the week. And here's your top 5. Coming in at number 5 with 7% of the vote is RFK Jr. for his flip-flop on Donald Trump. Number 4, 10% of the vote. The GOP group that's trying to use the Dred Scott laws, the SCOTUS decision to remove Kamala Harris from the ballot. Number 3, 15% of the vote, you have Jesse Waters for saying generals will have their way with Kamala, dear God. Your runner-up got 17% of the vote. It's Ken Paxton for his raid of Latino voters' homes and politicians. But no, with a narrow majority, 51% of the vote, your community garbage person of the week is Donald Trump for his political stunt at Arlington National Cemetery that they have managed to make worse every day this week. Thank you to all of you who voted. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.